The old man didn't blink. Not when the self-styled HOA enforcers smashed through the gate. Not when they waved their flimsy badges in his face. Not even when one of them brandished a tire iron. He just sat on his creaking porch, polishing the barrel of a 1948 Colt revolver like he was wiping down a kitchen counter. Then, bang. A single shot split the morning air, and the whole neighborhood learned what it meant to mess with a man who called his land his kingdom. I inherited that kingdom on a rainy Monday, but by Tuesday, I knew I'd stepped into a battlefield. Grandpa Amos called his 6 acres of untamed land his slice of liberty, a ramshackle farmhouse surrounded by a subdivision with streets named after birds long driven away Robin's Path, Finch Hollow, Starling Way. The place was a relic, a sagging porch, a rusted windmill, a goat pen that reeked of defiance, and a row of hand-painted "no trespassing" signs, each one meaner than the last. When I first pulled up the gravel drive, the goats eyed me like I'd missed a meeting. This wasn't just a house, it was a war zone carved out by a loophole older than the subdivision's manicured lawns. The 1947 deed, scrawled in pencil and sealed with whiskey, predated the HOA's rulebook. Amos had fought in Korea, come home, and made damn sure no busybody could dictate the height of his grass or the jangle of his wind chimes. His buddy, Walt, a zoning officer, had helped etch a legal shield around the land. "They'll come for you," Amos once told me, his Colt glinting on the windowsill. "Wait long enough. They always do." I'd laughed then. I wasn't laughing now. The trouble started the moment I moved in. The HOA sent their queen, Linda Grayson, striding up my drive in a blazer that screamed petty power. She clutched a clipboard and a smile so fake it could have been shrink-wrapped. "Just a welcome visit," she said, nose twitching at the goat stink. "Your porch doesn't meet our aesthetic standards. Uniformity boosts property values." I didn't offer my hand. Leaning against the doorframe, I said, "This land's not under your thumb, ma'am. It's exempt." Her face flickered like I'd spat in her coffee. "No such thing," she snapped. "All homes in Willow Hollow answer to us." I handed her a copy of the 1947 deed. "Not this one. It's as free as the chickens it came with." Her smile could have cracked granite. "We'll see," she said, and marched off. That was the first salvo. By morning, a yellow courtesy notice was tucked under my windshield Waperno HOA logo. Just a laundry list of gripes. Non-standard mailbox, livestock odor, faded fence. The mailbox, painted like the stars and stripes with Amos's signature, "Come and take it," made me grin. I stapled the notice to the goat pen. Another showed up Friday. Saturday night, I caught a shadow slipping one under my gate, vanishing when I stepped out with the Colt resting on my hip, its velvet case open on the porch. It hadn't been fired since '78, but its 6 rounds carried enough history to make a trespasser pray. I started digging not in the dirt, but in Amos's barn, a dusty shrine to stubbornness. Amid canned peaches from '69 and a typewriter with a bullet in it, I found a vault hidden behind a faded NRA poster. Inside were Amos's war medals, discharge papers, and a folder labeled "For When They Come." It held the 1947 deed, a 1980 HOA exemption, state grandfather laws, and a boundary map signed by Walt. Bulletproof. I made copies, stashing them everywhere, even in the goat's water trough. Paranoia? Sure, but earned. Then I noticed the black SUVs. No plates, tinted windows, parked at odd hours, always watching. They tailed me to the feed store, the gas station, even the DMV. One night, I walked to the property line, hands raised. "You boys lost." A man stepped out vest, mirrored shades at midnight, a patch reading HOA Compliance Division. I laughed. "That badge is plastic. You're not cops." He droned about community standards enforcement. His hand hovered near a clipboard, not a gun. I stepped closer. "Cross my line again, and you'll get more than a warning." Another man emerged, filming with a body cam. "Documenting violations," he said. I didn't answer. I just cradled the Colt like an heirloom. They backed off, one tripping over a sprinkler. They drove away. By Monday, HOA scum was scrawled on my goat pen. My trash wasn't picked up. My mail vanished. A neighbor whispered, "Linda says you're a menace." The air shifted. Neighbors who once waved now froze mid-gesture. Mrs. Carter, who'd rambled about her cat over lemon bars, crossed the street to avoid me. My property flags, planted by Amos in '81, vanished nightly. Violations piled up weed height, livestock smelling a lawn bare except for frost and barn moss. Linda showed up with 2 goons in compliance officer vests, one with an earpiece, the other clutching a tablet like it was a grenade launcher. "We're inspecting for fire hazards and hoarding," she said. Hoarding. I scoffed. You mean Amos's tractor? She cited anonymous reports. I pulled out a cease and desist letter. This land's untouchable. You're trespassing. One goon muttered. Non-compliance means escalation. I gave them 5 seconds. Linda's smile didn't reach her eyes. You'll regret this, she said, and they left. 2 days later, 3 dead rats were stuffed in my mailbox. The goat pen's latch was broken. The goat's gone. Get out was chalked on the barn. I found the lead goat, Taco, limping by the creek. The others straggled back, lured by oats. The sheriff called it a civil dispute. My shed was ransacked, next drawers opened, tools rearranged, nothing stolen. My drone caught Linda and a goon skulking by my well at midnight, filming. I called Judge Ramsey, Amos's old friend. By evening, he sent a letter citing statutes and my right to defend my land. We mailed it to the HOA, the sheriff, and every neighbor. Linda ignored it. At an HOA meeting, she called me unstable, claiming I held the neighborhood hostage with vintage weaponry and livestock terror. A neighbor's recording proved she'd faked a vote to justify her raids. I checked the Colt loaded, ready. Then they came. 5 of them Linda, her usual goons, 2 new ones with bolt cutters. No knock, straight for the barn. I stepped out, Colt in hand. You're trespassing. Leave. The lead goon laughed. Stand down or... I cocked the hammer and fired a warning shot into the dirt. The clipboard dropped. Linda shrieked. They fled, one swearing it was a federal violation. The sheriff called, asking about gunfire complaints. I said only egos were hurt. He suggested mediation. I suggested he get a real batch. He hung up. Sleepless, I found a 1991 state certification in the barn, declaring the land a protected historical site. The barn, tractor, and windmill were untouchable. Ramsey called it a nuke. We filed an injunction, including drone footage, fake badge photos, and Linda's falsified HOA minutes. At the hearing, Linda sent a smarmy lawyer who downplayed it as a misunderstanding. The judge wasn't having it. He issued a restraining order, barring the HOA from my land. The story hit the news when drone footage of Linda's latest raid, her goon tripping into a chicken trough, went viral. A podcast added banjo music. I became a folk hero. A bakery sold Colt-shaped cookies. My mailbox was painted gold. Linda doubled down, declaring my land a threat to morale and hiring a neighborhood safety reconnaissance corps, cosplayers with PVC batons and zip ties. A neighbor, Eli, a veteran with a yard full of model planes, tipped me off about a final midnight raid. I activated Amos's tripwires and floodlights. When Linda's crew crept in, the lights blazed, catching her hiding behind a compost bin. A motion-triggered video of Amos, Colt in hand, played. You have 5 seconds to leave. Linda screamed, get the gun. Her team scattered, one soaking his pants. The footage hit the internet, memed to oblivion. The judge laughed Linda's harassment claim out of court. Her goons were charged with impersonation and trespassing. Linda faced harassment, falsification, and attempted property seizure. The HOA board was dissolved, its funds audited, revealing Linda's scams, fake badges, her cousin's tactical training, a $5,000 cutout of herself. The judge called it a cosplay militia. Linda's house sold at a loss, her dreams hauled away in a U-Haul. We formed the Willow Grove Council, capping dues at $50, banning anonymous complaints, and declaring legacy land sacred. The HOA's SUV became a lemonade stand. Amos's Colt, now in a shadow box, guards the barn, a local landmark. I sip bourbon-spiked lemonade on the porch, goats snoring beside me, the flag flapping. A new neighbor, no clipboard in sight, brings beer and calls the place peaceful. I raise my glass. HOA free and gunpowder fresh, I say. He nods. The silence feels like victory.